Oh my god, she's a weirdo. What do I look like? I haven't looked at myself in a while. I'm a little teapot, sharp and stout. Here is my handle, here's my handle, here's my spout. When a girl seem to hear me shout, tip.
Hello, 'tis I, Fat Cow. That clip you just saw was from the live yesterday that was in the courtyard. Not the live that accidentally showed more than it should do. I'm not going to talk about that. But the one in the courtyard where she was looking for olives and then did the little teapot dance. I'm then going to show you some pictures of the same dress when Foodie first got it. Granted, she tried it on backwards, so I know there's a lot of you saying it's the same dress, she's just wearing it the correct way, but also from Thailand when she wore it, and from that time she kidnapped Bruce. Both times then, she wore it the correct way around. Also, the picture I use for comparison is when she was waiting in line at the coffee shop, and again she was wearing the dress correctly. This was from yesterday, worn correctly. The next is the day that she got it in Kuwait, worn backwards, so can't really compare. This is Thailand, worn the correct way, so we can compare. Yesterday, a full body shot. The day she kidnapped Bruce, correct way, full body. Yesterday and the coffee shop in Kuwait. See the differences. Small disclaimer here. Editing cat just watched what I said. I said that the stripes difference was from the old dress to the new dress. Well, I was actually talking about the differences from the new dress to the old dress. So when I say new, I actually meant old. I hope that makes sense. Inconsistencies are on the top of the sleeve where there is no orange on the new dress, the middle of the sleeve, which is also missing orange in the new dress, and the front of the skirt that's missing the two various green shades of stripes between the white and the orange. These are not the same dresses. It's very hard to have identical dresses when the dresses are stripes and you're matching up fabric. This is two separate dresses brought on two separate occasions, and I suspect being two completely different sizes because the original Temu stripy dress no longer fits, and I suspect the new dress is probably a 7XL. But why? Why buy the same dress in larger sizes and not mention it's not the same dress? Just assume everybody believes that that whole bit at the beginning of your life was you implying you'd lost weight because your dress hung better and was so much looser without actually saying the words. When in fact, if you look at the material, it's shiny, which means it hasn't been washed or has barely been washed. When that Temu dress towards its end in Kuwait was looking very, very sad indeed. It was very mistreated, was that Temu dress. So just by fabric alone, the shininess of the fabric, I could tell immediately that was a new dress. I've had to go to these lengths to prove it's a new dress by comparing the stripes because the internet likes evidence. And I believe I've proven it's a different dress. I also know that dress goes up to a 7XL. So I suspect that's the size Foodie's currently wearing. But what's the aim in this? Is she trying to fool us? Or is she trying to fool herself? It's both, in fact. The thing with Foodie Beauty is, and this is my opinion, it's not a fact, but she has a form of body dysmorphia, which is just called reverse body dysmorphia. And that is when an individual sees themselves as more attractive than they are, or thinner than they are, or more muscular than they are, Salah, that kind of thing. Both her and Amberlynn Reid have this. And they also add to the delusion that they're smaller by tricking themselves in a way, by the filters, or by claiming or imagining or declaring they've lost weight, by not going on the scales at all and just judging it by their clothes, completely ignoring the fact that clothes stretch as they get older, or by buying a size that fits, say, your bust but is obviously too tight everywhere else, but saying, if I can get it on my bust, if I can get it on, it must be my size, when clearly you have a small bust compared to the rest of you, and just because your boobs fit into that dress, it doesn't mean it's hanging as it was meant to. Foodie legitimately thinks she's lost weight, and wearing the same clothes as she's always worn, but in a bigger size, just adds to her delusion. In the back of the mind, she knows she's heavier than she's ever been. It's hard to ignore. Her physical fitness alone should be telling her she's bigger than she's ever been. So this isn't just for our benefit, another ruse to try and fool us. This is also Foodie fooling herself. She's living life vicariously through a filter, and it's bled into her real life. And as funny as this seems, it's also really tragic. I cut myself off a little too early and I ended up saying really, but I meant to say really tragic. Now, Foodie is very fidgety during the last live. There was a lot of rocking back and forth, a lot of pent-up excitement, let's say. And I believe that's because she's leaving a lot sooner than the end of October. She did say, although she said she would not tell us when she was leaving, she did say she'd definitely be in Canada for Halloween. And her plans so far for her new content is coffee in the morning, maybe some shopping, and then a mukbang. So practically no different from Kuwait, no different from Canada, and only different from Syria, because Syria doesn't have the shops and doesn't have the fast food to do a mukbang with. You put a lot of thought into this, haven't you, Foodie? You have lists of mukbangs you plan to do, and I can guarantee you're going to find yourself very much unable to leave Canada to come back to Syria to check on your very, very, very trustworthy hubby.